Haven't been implemented yet, but Sir Keir Starmer is already looking into expanding the use of his digital ID. When the scheme was announced last month, it was made clear, apparently, they would only need to use your digital ID to work in the UK. It was meant, of course, to be clamping down on illegal immigration. However, now Sir Keir Starmer is floating the idea that the IDs could be used for accessing public services, such as benefits, on a voluntary basis, of course, if you believe the Prime Minister. Let's now speak with the Executive Director of the age verification providers, Ian Corby. Ian, welcome to the show. A lot of people were perhaps naturally suspicious of a Prime Minister who, in opposition, backed the use of COVID passports for anybody to access basic civil liberties such as churches, pubs and gyms. Suddenly, when the ID is proposed, it's to clamp down on illegal immigration, and already we're seeing mission creep. Are people wrong to be suspicious?
I think in this country, since the Second World War, we've been very nervous about any ability for the authorities to say papers, please, and that applies to digital papers just as much as physical papers. I think what Sir Keir Starmer is missing in Downing Street is Sir Humphrey Appleby, who would say, for example, to Jim Happicott in that comedy, "Minister, if you must do this damn silly thing, please don't do it in this damn silly way." And frankly, by making ID mandatory in the way they've done and being so loud about that, it's not surprising we've seen 2.8 million people sign a petition to have the whole thing prevented before it's even started. One thing we do need to understand is there are plenty of benefits from digital identity, but we don't need a multi-billion pound programme over a number of years. Probably 3 years they'll start, and I doubt it'll be delivered before 5, because all government IT projects overrun. And we will be we already have this through a bill that the Prime Minister himself put through. It was the 5th piece of law that this government put through, the Data Use and Access Bill, which created the ability for private sector companies to be audited and certified to issue digital identities. But the key thing here is that you get the choice as to which provider you go to, and you can choose one that you trust. And I think the biggest issue people are going to have with this, and certainly the people I talk to in the digital identity community are worried about, is surveillance. And we saw just recently it took Apple to go to court to prevent the government from breaking their encryption system, because Apple was a third party involved in that process, and they went to a secret court, but they went to try and prevent it. Well, who's going to go to court to try and stop the government building surveillance into their digital identity app? There is no third party in there to be looking out for our privacy and our rights as citizens. So I think it's much better that we have a voluntary system. You choose the provider, you get it from the private sector. They can, make sure that the IT is privacy preserving, which it needs to be from the outset.
Okay, Ian Corby,
a lot of information to give you to start with.
No, it's superb. We have to leave it there. We need to be running out of time. But I think it's worth pointing out that even Labour's own MPs are fearful that Sir Keir Starmer has the reverse Midas touch. Any idea that he comes up with, the public simply don't like.